Okay, first things first. Read the instructions. Alright, tools required: a 13mm socket. Step 1, remove covers from factory rails. Carefully remove the front and rear covers from the factory rails. It is recommended to use a plastic panel removal tool to avoid marring the covers. So I don't have a fancy panel removal tool, so we're going to use this. I know it's metal, we'll be careful. Do not use a flat blade screwdriver. Do not pry against the body of the 4Runner. You will dent the body panel. Covers are held by 4 tabs. Pry the 2 outer tabs first, then rotate the cover towards the inside. The cover should pop off. Sounds simple enough. Step 2. Remove bolts from the roof rails. Carefully remove the 8 bolts from the factory roof rails. Do not apply too much downward force on these bolts, as the nuts inside the roof are both held on with spot weld in the center of both nuts, and it is possible to accidentally pop the bracket off inside the roof. So it is not 13mm, it is 12mm. It's kind of hard to see. 12mm to take these bolts off. Don't apply a lot of downward force and you'll be okay. Keep these bolts for use on your new LFD Off Road roof rack. Step 3. Apply sealant to the factory hole location. The factory rack has a rubber seal around it, so we need to make the roof watertight again. For this, we recommend using RTV or silicone sealant around the factory plastic bolt holes. We recommend a bead around the outside of the hole, along with squirting some inside the bolt hole before installing the bolts. Step 4. Place a spacer between the roof and the rail. LFD roof racks come with a spacer plate that mounts between each foot of the roof rack and the roof of your 4Runner. These are designed to evenly distribute the rack weight over the largest contact patch possible in the factory rail ditch. The sealant you use will spread out under the spacer, also creating a nice seal. Insert the factory bolt back into the roof rack and seat the bolts down. Step 5. Install the crossbars first. Install 3 bars first into your LFD rack to ensure the side rails are properly aligned to the vehicle. We recommend 1 on either end and 1 in the middle to help align everything. Then begin to fill out the rack with crossbars in your desired spacing. Wait to tighten the bars until all are in the desired locations. Step 6. Crossbar bolts. Crossbar bolts, washers, and nuts are provided with your roof rack kit. The order should be as shown. Install the bolt from the outside, and then the flat washer, followed by the lock washer, and finally the nut. Install all hardware hand tight. Then once all bars are installed, tighten down the assembly. And step 7. Center and tighten down the rack. Once you are happy with your crossbar placements, center your rack on the roof and tighten down the 8 bolts holding the rack down to the vehicle. There is no need to over tighten this. Just tighten the rack until the rubber washer on the bolts begin to deform slightly. And enjoy your new roof rack.